Welcome back to another Old World Fanatics battle report. This time we're going to be walking through the first ever Old World game that Andrew and I got in last week now, I think it is. We're a couple of
Yep.
days behind recording this one. How you going, Andrew?
Yeah. Good. Thanks, Gommo.
It's good that I'm not just having to, usually I do my battle reports just going through the pitches myself, so it's good to have the actual other player on the
On board.
yes, because I totally forget. I'm also shocking describing the other person's army and what figures are like what units are what, and yeah,
That reminds me, I'll get my army list up.
horrendous.
Yep.
For those who haven't followed us, our latest podcast, we went through this a little bit, but it might be a bit clearer on a battle report with the images up. So
Mm.
hopefully, if you like watching battle reports, let's go into this one. So, and I'll just get some stuff out of the way on the screen here. Can I spotlight that one? Do we want our faces on there still? Who knows? I'll take them off if they're getting in the way. So this was our first Old World game. So we did 1,600 points, so just a little bit less than, so we weren't, taking too long. It took about
Yep.
4 hours, did it? I don't know. We weren't going super
Ah,
fast, but
yeah. No, still took a while.
yeah. I took my Tomb Kings. You took your vampire counts. Yeah, so we should probably just go through the lists. Oh, it looks like I'm up first in terms of on the pitches here. So I'll just run through mine. I actually have 2 units of 5 skeleton horse archers. I hadn't actually put them down yet because they were going to vanguard. I don't think I'd put them down yet. No,
They're
they
scouting.
scouted. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
scouting.
right. But I didn't actually put them like in your deployment zone or anything because they couldn't fit. But those stalkers there are actually Necropolis Knights because I hadn't painted them, so I just used them. So there's 2 Necropolis Knights, 3 Bow Sharp D, 20 Skeleton Bowmen. I've actually got a Necromancer, not Necromancer. That's what you've got. The Hierophant is in that unit, but he's actually shouldn't be because he's got the Cloak of the Dunes. But I'll get into that in a minute. At the back, there's my Necro Sphinx, and then I've got a Tomb King and a Tomb Herald on chariots in a chariot unit. The Tomb King basically has a 5-up ward as well as his regen and stuff, and he's got this Conqueror's Blade, giving him 5-up sort of like a killing. I think it's heroic-y type killing blow slightly, but on a 5-up. And the BSB is just basically naked. And then with the scouting archers, the bow horse archers, I've got another level 1 mortuary priest, I guess they're called now, with the Ruby Ring of Ruin. So my Hierophant is actually a level 2 just on necromancy, and as I said, he's in that unit of bow guys, but he probably shouldn't be. So anyway, that's how I set up. What have you got up, Andrew?
Yeah. So I'll go left to right, even though it's out of order. So in the top, I had my dogs, 10 dire wolves. Obviously, they got the Vanguard rule. I probably didn't put these in the best position next, but I have my 3 Fellbats. In the forest, I don't know if you can see him, smack bang in the middle. I've got my Strigoi Ghoul King. He was rocking the Duelist Blades for an extra couple attacks. He had the Flying Horror Vamp upgrade, which gave him flying 10. And he had the Lord of the Night, which lets me bring back dogs within 12. And he was a level 1. I had Battle Magic
Oh, that assailment one.
yeah.
Yeah, what was it? It was called? Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't know if they ended up using that. I just forgot about that. Next up, I got my Vargulf going along. I've got my unit of 21 zombies. I have 2 units of 27 skeletons. Behind that center unit of skeletons, I've got my Master Necromancer. He's riding on his Mortis engine, as everybody can see. Mortis engine is actually really good. I love the model and I love the rules for it. He's rocking. Well, he's a level 4. He's got the scepter of the Norirot. How we want to say it?
Can't remember what was that one do again.
It gives him this is almost the auto include, so it lets you basically do the raise ability twice in your phase instead of the
Tomb
once.
Kings have one of them, and I should have really picked that up. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. And then he's got the Crown of the Damned, which gives him the 4-up ward, but makes him stupid.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's all I had for that. And then obviously, right out on my left there, you can see my Terrorgeist. Sorry,
Cool.
on the screen right on my left.
Yeah, yep,
Yep.
yep. Yeah, cool. Then I scouted, but obviously didn't want to get too close. So
Mhm.
one horse archer's out to the left, one up behind that impassable there with my little level one ruby ring dude in there. I guess is it he would have had to be in that unit to actually scout. I'm assuming. I assume that's allowed, but I don't know. Probably I can't remember checking that or not. Do you know what I mean? Because he doesn't have scout
Yeah,
himself,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
unsure.
yeah. We do a few things, obviously on our first game, probably not 100% correct. And then, yeah, you looks like you vanguarded your dogs up a bit.
Yep, yep. I sent them up, pretty sure close to the full 9 inches with a wheel. If
Cool.
maybe it's straightforward. I forget.
Mm,
But yeah, yeah. I just moved straight up. So yeah, it was my turn first, wasn't it?
yeah.
So movement wise, I brought up, as everyone can see, my Strigoi Ghoul King. I brought the dogs up, and the Vargulf has come straight at obviously your left flank. Um, my bats, I didn't position these guys well, so I flew them over, just for a bit of support for my Mortis engine, because obviously, if my general dies, I'm in a lot of trouble, and those big blocks aren't very maneuverable. So I just wanted some chaff that I could maneuver, basically. Um, and my Terrorgeist was just moving up on my left flank, so right of the screen. And then obviously my skeletons and zombies and everything stumbled forwards. And for this game, I was regenerating my zombies as we kept going, because that was the only thing that I could obviously, they've got the nearly dead rule, so I could raise them above the 20 models that I bought. However, as we later found out, this put them into a marching column,
Mm, mm.
um, which I think a lot of people are getting a bit tricked on, not
Yeah.
realizing.
It didn't affect you in this
Nah,
game because you weren't trying to charge or anything, but yeah, it's
yeah,
just funny to
yeah.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the combat, it was like, yeah, you brought that up. It's like, oh, you're a
Mm.
marching column because I couldn't get my plus.
+3 rank, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Are they Horde? They'd have Horde rule, wouldn't they?
yeah. They got horde,
Yeah.
so yeah, that sort of, yeah. Anyway, so that was that. And then I
Looks like nothing was probably in range for magic by the look of it, so I don't think much happened apart from, like you said, raising the zombies up.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I went, I basically the cool thing is I got to use reserve move, which is what I really wanted to try out. So my horse archers out on the left move up and ready to take a shot and then do a reserve move. And I moved up a little bit. I brought back my other middle horse archers with my ruby ring guy because I just knew he was going to get. I didn't want them to get charged, but
Yep,
at the same time, I put them as a screen type thing in front of my bow sharpie because um, I really rate these guys. I just don't know how in reality, I've got another 3 to paint up. I'm not sure how sort of optimal they will be in a list, when you're tight for points, but the fact that
mm,
they hit on 4s, with AP1, I think some Armor Bane on there if I remember, and Multi-Wound 2,
yep,
Strength 6 bows, 30-inch range. Yeah, perfect for taking out things like that Strigoi Ghoul King there,
exactly,
if I
yeah,
can get some shots off, which was pretty cool. So they pointed that way. And then I flew my Necrosphinx over to support the chariots and just tried to take some pot shots. I might have killed a few skeletons from the bow guys, but the biggest thing that we started to know, even by turn 1 here, was my magic was going to be pretty ineffectual because I only had a level 2 and a level 1, and most of the time I weren't even in range, which is a bit frustrating. I pushed hard on the right there with the chariots because I just first game I thought like I just want to even if they get charged by the Terrorgeist, but if not, I'm going
yeah,
to charge some skeletons and see what happens. Basically,
yeah, yeah,
I think I killed a dog and then got my my bow sharp, my horse archers out on the left there, out of your arc, just to sort of start being annoying.
yep,
Um, there must just be another clip of that. The annoying thing is I did take a shot at your. I don't know if it's here or not. These might just be. Yeah, there's taking those guys. Yeah, so this is into your turn actually.
Yep.
So I did actually shoot your if you remember, I shot your Ghoul King
Yep.
and rolled 3 6s to hit, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And then rolled 1 and a 2 for wound and
It was
didn't
a
do
hairy
anything.
moment. It was a hairy moment.
Because I was like, "I'm just gonna get 2 through, and then he's dead,
Yeah, and he's
multi-wound
dead.
2." Yeah,
Yep.
but wasn't to be. So then, yeah, your turn, mate. Turn 2.
Yeah. So, turn 2, is
Looks
there
like
a
you got a,
movement?
hex off.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know, is there another picture with the movement in it? Oh, yeah, so that
There's
hex
one.
would have been, yeah, sorry, the hex was,
Yeah, hex is
in the
first technically. Yeah.
start of turn
Yep,
subphase.
yep.
Yep, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You did this a couple of times on this unit
I
where you
did.
made him strength 3, toughness 3, which wasn't great.
Yeah, so I was just trying to, there's a good chance you were gonna get in, so I'm like, "Oh, I'll just try and take whatever benefit I could off you." In the charge phase, I attempted to charge with my Ghoul King and my Vargeist. As you can see, only my Ghoul King made it in.
Yep,
Um, and on the right, I've kept moving forward. I've got my bats into place. I've made a bit of a tactical error with my Terrorgeist, not realizing that and I've made a few of these errors with the Wailing Dirge. Basically, you can't use it if you march because it's a shooting attack, and you also cannot use it if you
when you
charge
charge.
into
Mm,
combat. So that was a few things I kind of didn't pick up on until we were smack bang in the game, and I've charged or I've marched, and then all of a sudden I can't use it, and I was just like, oh no. Um, so yeah, that's where we were there. I'm guessing the next should be combat. So obviously I kept moving my dogs up. Combat wise, oh sorry, yeah, I also in the shooting phase got the was it often your archers, the template
Ah, that's right, that's what the
spell.
template is. Yes, and
Yep,
took out a few. Yep,
took out a
that's
few of
right.
your archers.
Yep, that's
Um,
right.
and then the next picture should be the combat. Yeah, so I did quite well. I think I took
I think you
maybe
perfectly did
4
like
wounds off.
6 wounds or something, just
Oh,
took the whole unit off. Yeah. Like I didn't get any attacks back. Yeah.
oh, you didn't?
Nah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if you crumbled a little
Because
bit at the end.
what does he attack at? Like how many attacks and stuff did he have?
So he's got. I also had the extra couple of attacks. So I think he's rocking 6 or 7 attacks
Yeah, must have
with
been because
the
you did.
duelist blades.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then yeah, obviously, I've got poison as well,
Yeah.
and his strength 5. So yeah, he does pretty good in combat.
Yeah. And there's like the Necropolis Knights are good, but they're only tough for 3 wounds. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, 6 up regen, 5 up save or something like that. They are killable. They're not very, and there's only 2 of them. So
Mm.
yeah, cool. Yeah, so you
So I
wiped that
popped forward.
out,
Yep.
and then I had to try and so I thought, man, this guy is scary. So I again positioned my bow shafty around, moved it like this. You know, you can't do the pivots as such now, so you're sort of
Yeah.
moving around. I can't make him shoot in my magic phase. It's a much different Tomb King feel, especially with the low magic that I had.
Yeah.
Felt a bit hamstrung, but basically positioned all the shooting that I could to try and get rid of that dude.
Yep.
Um, he does have 1 wound on him, so I don't know if that's pre or post. Maybe I did get 1 on him from something
That was
else.
from your magic. Your magic took off
Yeah.
that magic missile took off 1.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I did get at least the fireball off.
Yep.
Which is yeah, this guy. He's got the fireball. I was umming and ahhing this charge because I don't rate horse archers in combat, but getting the rear charge
Mm.
against the dogs, there, I just went, no, let's go in because I think you said, yeah, and they should be able to get him. So, because I forgot, that's right, because I was forgetting I had horse attacks. I'm like, how am I going to get him with 5 guys?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, hang on, there's 10. So, yeah,
10
a bit
attacks,
more
yeah.
oomph.
Yep.
Um, I got my wizard out of that unit just in case he was going to end up getting charged. Just started flying him around, and plus, I think getting him out of I can't remember if I was trying to get him in or out of range of certain things for your 24 inches as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got off my charges, which was
Yep.
good with the chariots and the necrosphinx straight into that central skeleton one.
Yep.
Good thing with pre-measure, we sort of checked that they both could easily get in without like at this stage a sort of going into 2 units.
Yeah.
And that's probably something you could have positioned differently, hey, like, made sure that they probably couldn't do that, but,
Yeah, I
if
think
that
it
would have
was like
helped, but
there was like within a millimeter or something
yeah,
like
it's
that
pretty
with that
close.
Skelly unit on
Yeah,
the right.
yeah,
But then, you know, it's not sheep stations, we're not at tournaments. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they go in, yeah, I finally do shoot this guy off, which is
Yep.
good. And then, yeah, took out a bunch of these
Mm,
dogs and they crumbled by
they
3 or something,
crumbled.
so you had 1
Yeah.
left.
One left.
Yeah. And then, yeah, this was I mean, I needed everything I could there. I did a lot of damage,
Mm,
but only I mean, you crumbled right down to a man, so it was
yep,
still pretty close. I think we
it
had it up
was.
twice, and it was like, "Oh, that was close." Because that would have been a bit more annoying if I was stuck with just a few skeletons left. Because I know I'm gonna get
Yeah.
flank charged, but I would have got flank charged with more people in front of me as well. It would have been a bit
Yeah.
dicey, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other thing, because I've got this word of pain off still on me, so I'm sort of strength 3, impact hits, it's not great. Um, this is just the positioning here when we overran the necropolis, not necropolis, what's it called? The necrosphinx. Actually, because of the way, I mean, you can sort of see the angle here of my
Mm.
guys to your zombies will point to
Yeah,
an
it was kinda
angle.
like, yeah, the bottom of my hand, so obviously
Yeah,
at the start, there was plenty of room, but then as you moved down, you ended
yeah,
up clipping my zombie unit.
yeah. So we think we played this right, where that means it's a flank charge, but he obviously, because this is the only way he can fit in, because of where the chariots are, he ends up sort of clipping by 1 or 2 zombies or something, and not
Yep.
like fully maximized. But
And
um,
the unit boundary rules, we couldn't really find anything about the
mm,
unit boundary rules, as in,
yeah,
like, back in the day, obviously, you'd have the whole that effectively, you couldn't
yes,
occupy that
that
space.
space. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we couldn't find anything about that yet, and we haven't heard any different yet. But I guess we'll just find out. Um, then I don't know. Oh, then it's your turn. I guess your Terragos has come over here.
Yeah, so I didn't want to put my Terragos into that combat, just due to the amount of combat res you'd be getting with my zombies and skeletons. He could have sat there as a supporting unit, but I just figured I'll take him over to this flank, and just see what I can do. I was trying to hope again I could possibly get into a position to scream at your is that your Hierophant?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Um, but again, the fact that you need to, I suppose, not be able to march sort of
Mm,
limited my ability to get that close.
yeah.
And also, because I lost my Ghoul King, I just thought, well, I'll see what I can take over on this side, because now the only thing I've got on that flank was going to be my Vargulf.
Vargolf. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've done that. I think is my Vargulf in combat in this
Yeah,
one
just
as yep,
yeah, you can sort of just at the end. I didn't get a picture,
yeah.
but he's charged
So
in. He's
yeah,
charged the bow shafty. Yep.
the bow shafties on the angle. Um, so you've obviously come forward into my bats and you've clipped my zombies. So I've moved my I don't know if this was the best move, but I've moved my mortis engine out of what I thought would be the line of fire.
Mhm.
And I've moved my zombie. Sorry, I charged your flank with the skeletons on the very right into the
Yeah.
side of your chariots.
Yep. Yep.
So we'll see how that one
Looks like
goes.
you've still got word of pain up as well. Like it was just
Yeah,
up a few times.
I kept
Yeah.
getting that up.
And I couldn't dispel it because I was too far away, or just yeah, just crap
Yeah,
level 2
yeah,
versus level 4. Yeah.
it was helping me a bit, but not all that much.
My Necrosphinx pushed your zombies back there. You gave ground, and
Yep,
I elected not to follow up. So that way, because it's going into my
correct.
turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went straight up against. I couldn't really go any further because I was up against that terrain.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm behind it as well, which is I think limiting how far I can move back. But yeah, obviously I wasn't getting that +3, which is really hurting me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yep, cool.
Yeah. From being in
And
marching column.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Marching column. Yeah.
yeah. And obviously the combat, so you were taking off, so you charged and I
Yeah.
charged. This is where it got a bit
Yeah.
funny with the
Yes.
initiative.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so we both got the plus initiative for the charge.
Yep.
And that included you attacking me to my, because of the way the rule was written, it doesn't like,
Yeah, even though my chariot guy in the back was attacking to the right,
yep,
which you guys charged, we both had initiative
it counts as
bonuses. Yeah.
charged. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
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 So yeah, I just because of the wounds you took off on
The bats and
the
stuff.
bats, yeah, it just I ended up crumbling. I didn't do too well. The skeletons, they don't actually do all that great in combat unless you buff them.
Yeah.
And obviously that was, a testament to that. Like I've charged your flank and basically I didn't really do any damage. I think I might have done a wound, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like you've done a wound to a chariot. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So, yeah.
yeah, so they're not, they're kind of just glorified zombies sometimes, unless you buff them up. So that didn't do too good. And then obviously I pushed back.
Mm.
And did you want to talk about your reform?
Yeah, yeah. So after doing the reform video on YouTube, which was technically wrong on finding some comments, this probably shouldn't be like this in the sense that yes, you can turn. If you win combat, they push back or give ground, and then you can follow up. But it's a turn, not a pivot. So technically, it's like the six ed turn where everyone turns in place. And because I'm technically in what 4x2, when I turn, I should be in 2x4, which A wouldn't even fit really because where the Sphinx guy is, because I haven't followed up.
Yeah.
But also, I've been marching column and not,
Yeah.
not so I don't. Yeah, I think that's gonna. This will be another thing that gets people out where they're not thinking of, especially because I think you'll see a lot of like 6, 7, whatever wide units, 2 or 3 ranks, hit them,
Yeah.
go for them in the flank because even if they win, they go. Do they really want to turn around? And
Yeah.
on top of that, you can't have. This is going to be a bit weird. You can't have more characters than rank and file in your fighting rank. So if they've got a choppy, if they're like, if they've got one character they want to move over and that, they want to go 2 by whatever, that's fine. I could have brought my general over, but I couldn't have put my general and my herald in that front rank with no guys in that front rank.
Yeah.
Plus I would have lost rank not that I've got rank bonuses here, I guess. I probably wouldn't care about going in marching column here. But I think the biggest issue is I probably wouldn't even be able to fit.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
definitely for infantry, like you were saying, it would
mm.
be a big deal if you, yeah.
Yeah, where you're wanting those ranks and like stuff. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
if
have
you weren't
to.
being disrupted, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, gonna have to update that reform video, but also I might put it on here too so that people like learn it a little bit because I think it's pretty important.
Yep.
Providing we read it right, but I think we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of that, the next round combat, uh, I just keep chipping away. I mean, I've got my lord and my
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
herald there, so they're doing some damage.
Yeah, yeah, they were. I mean, at the end of the day, you've only got to do like 5 or 6 wounds, and then I was crumbling 5 or 6.
Mm.
So yeah, it sort of that's the problem. Obviously, that crumble.
The one thing I forgot, I didn't talk about this on the podcast, but that other square dice was representing. I need to get better tokens. I was getting my will be done up on weapon skills, so
Oh,
my
yep,
my general and stuff was hitting on twos, which is pretty
that's
cool.
right. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, your turn 4 then.
Yeah, so I wasn't in a very good position. This was a massive gamble, but I was like, oh, we'll just see what happens. So I've decided to charge my Mortis engine with my Necromancer, who probably obviously isn't the best in combat, into the rear of your, because there was a bit of cat and mouse going on with,
Mm. Yeah, I didn't forgot to talk about that. I could not position that flying Necrosphinx to really get a good spot because you have to wheel and stuff, and you only get a 90-degree pivot or like turn at the
yeah,
end. So
yeah.
you could easily get out of my arc, basically.
Yeah, but once you finished off those skeletons, then you would have had chariots there, and it was just one of those
Yeah,
things. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why, prolong the inevitable? So I just thought, stuff it. It's just let's just go in and see what happens. So yeah, I attempted to charge there, and obviously my Vargulf is still chipping away in the back, and I also brought in my Terrorgeist, which you can see in the base in the bottom right of the screen, into
Yeah.
the back of your Sharpty bows, just to try and finish that combat off,
Yeah.
because it kind of stalled a bit, that combat. Um, so yeah, as you can see there, I failed my charge. It was pretty bad actually. I ended up pretty much smack bang in the middle of the zombie unit, but I had to push until I was outside of the zombie unit, and that's basically where I ended up. So I'm right in the middle of nowhere, out of the arc of your Necrosphinx, but yeah, just still not in a good position.
Yeah, and it's your turn
Um,
too, so I can hopefully beat those skeletons and then turn my chariots around in your
yeah,
turn. Yeah, it's just a bad timing.
I couldn't even do my Wailing Dirge or anything like that either. So it was just like, oh, here we go. So that didn't actually get used all that much, actually.
No.
So yeah, I think you beat me. Took off my skeletons in this. Well, maybe that's another shot.
Yeah, that's just that one.
The
Yeah, here we
movement.
are. This
Yep,
this is
yep.
it. Yep.
In contact. So yeah, you've beaten my skeletons. Maybe I took off that
Yeah,
last
looks like you've taken
wound.
one chariot too. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Finally, chipping
uh
away, took off a chariot. So yeah, I ended up taking off your Sharpty bows. My Terrorgeist has ran through and hit your horses. And obviously you don't have your mage in there.
no, he's
He's
run off and
run
he's
off.
up here with the
Yeah.
other guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I was in a position where basically, because he did the overrun, I wasn't going to be a position of your Scorpion. So I was
Yeah.
really keen to get out of
Oh,
that
yeah, I haven't got a
line.
picture of that, but I brought him up on turn 2 and put
Yeah.
him out the back there to try and chase that Vargolf, but he hasn't had much success.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because he's a bit of a monster killer, so it was a bit,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's your turn, isn't it?
Yeah, so my
Yep,
turn, I took the Necrosphinx into the back of the zombies, just there wasn't much else. I thought he might as well just destroy them in 2 rounds, and then
yep,
the chariots went into the Mortis engine.
yep,
I've flown up my my Hierophant to get away from some of the, the dangerous Terrorgeists and stuff down there, but then obviously just to buff, like to heal and stuff, the chariots and stuff up here if I can.
yep.
So my turn, yeah, I've wiped a bunch of zombies. I'm still stuck there. I can't remember much damage we did to that necromancer on that first round.
Yeah, I got a feeling it was like a couple of, 1 or
Because you got a
2
good ward
wounds.
save and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it was actually pretty good. I
yeah.
don't think I oh, no, because I challenged. That's right.
Ah,
I
yes, that's
challenged
right.
your lord, so you could only
Yeah.
bring,
The
your
one impact, it's yeah. So basically,
yep,
it's that's right. It's just we're just challenge off, and you've got the ward save. So you're just like,
yeah,
yeah, we're stuck in combat a bit.
yeah,
And
so
I couldn't, at least from what we were reading, I think I couldn't. My magic sword wasn't even going to work on your guy because he was a chariot or something. Is
chariot.
that what it
Yep,
was? Yeah.
mm.
Yep.
So yeah, so basically I took your horses off and I turned to face my when I took your horses off, I turned to face
Yeah.
your
And then must have charged in.
your Tomb Scorpion.
Yeah.
So in my turn I've been able to charge both the Vargulf and the Terrorgeist in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that is. And
Looks like I've done some damage to that Volgolf, but I can't remember if that was maybe the bow shaft did some. I don't know if the
yeah, it
scorpion
did.
did, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it took a couple of wounds. And I think I had a wound off on my Terragos at this point in time as well.
Yeah. But then bang, yeah, you took
Yep.
it's only tough. It's tough 5, but 3 wounds on this scorpion, so you got through it,
Yeah.
blew it up.
Yep. Which was good.
I'm
Um,
I'm still stuck with 1 zombie left.
down to 1 zombie, and yeah, I didn't have too much left on my Mortis engine. He was just slowly getting whittled down.
I think my turn 5 now, I think I ended up popping the no, that's still my turn 5, so I can't remember at what point. Obviously, I've turned my bow guys to try to take some
Yep.
shots. I think we're just trying to shoot as much as we can to put some 6s to hit,
Yeah.
wound and just try and wound some things, but that was
Yep.
about it. Eventually then you sent your Vilgolf into my bow unit to try and just get rid of them.
You I think you
Oh, I
did
charged,
you
sorry,
charge
did
in?
I?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it
yeah.
looks like sorry, it looks like I've charged. That's right,
Yeah, you
yeah,
were
I
trying
did.
to tie him up. I remember
Yep,
that.
yep, so I
'Cause
charged
I was gonna
in.
charge you anyway, and you were like, "Oh, stuff it, I'll get it."
Yep.
Yeah,
So there, so I've got that wrong, sorry, that's the other way around, now it makes sense. And then, yeah, just again, moving my guys around and fireballing that
yep,
Terragrice just to try do some stuff. By about turn 3, I realised I need to get that guy away from your Necromancer so I can fire some
yeah.
shots off.
Actually
Although I
get
think
the
we
shots off, yeah.
forgot he was in combat and can't dispel now anyway, but, yeah, there's a few things we probably
Yeah, yeah,
forgot
there's
about.
definitely a few things that we're forgetting about.
Um, didn't blow him up, but, yeah. And then
Yeah,
bottom of
took
my turn, I probably killed the zombie, and I ended up popping and getting your necromancer
yep,
eventually in
yep,
that combat. So he's dead. The zombies are dead.
yep.
And you've just wiped half my unit of skeleton bowmen.
This became a
Uh,
point. I was trying to get this unit so
yeah.
bad. I was just like, "If I'm gonna get anything, I need to get this unit 'cause I haven't killed a lot."
And then in turn, I think I may have put another wound from the fireball. And then turn 6, I think this is actually turn 6 probably.
Yep,
Um, you did a bit more, and then your Terrorgeist popped because of the neck. You had to
yeah,
test on my turn when I killed
yep.
your guy. I think you might have passed or something, but then you failed on this one.
Yeah, leadership 4, so it was a bit of a stretch to try and pass that, and he popped, obviously.
And then at the bottom of 6 somewhere, this is the end of the game. I think I actually ended up getting that guy
You
through just
did, yeah.
plunking an extra wound through. He's only got 3 wounds, does he? Or does he
4
4?
wounds.
So I must have
Yeah.
got enough through in the end.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't get I was only needed 1 more round of combat, and
Yeah,
I reckon I would have had that unit. I was
yeah.
just fixated. Uh,
Yeah, so it was a pretty, yeah, it was basically like you got tabled off, but I don't
yeah,
know, it just felt like there was still stuff on till turn 3 and 4. I wasn't totally like, at some point, I thought maybe if I lost those chariots, I would have been in a bit of trouble, but it just didn't eventuate it, just the way the
yeah,
charges
yeah.
happened and stuff. Um, yeah, but I was getting dominated with magic. I just, couldn't do anything against your guy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely I think you're gonna see people, as we were discussing yesterday, trying to come up with these ways of either getting into a combat with your necros sorry, your mages to try and limit their ability to dispel and obviously cast,
Yeah.
or maybe placing your guys further back to try and get out of that 18-inch or 24-inch
It's
dispel
gonna be
range.
pretty critical.
Mm,
So, yeah, we're gonna have to go back and look at some lists because I mean, obviously, we probably played some of the Magic wrong, some of the reforms slightly debatable, but it's pretty close. Like I think we most
yeah,
of the stuff was pretty obvious.
yeah.
It's just
Nothing was a game changer. I don't think anything we really got wrong would have changed the outcome at
yeah.
all.
I know there was a few times we both sort of like ended up trying to ended up just forgetting hexes and just casting them in the shooting phase or something just because
Yeah,
we'd forgotten.
yeah.
But
Forgotten.
you know, it's first game. You gotta remember all that. So
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a teething period, I think, until
yeah,
this is. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm keen to try out more bow sharpty dudes or sharpty
Mm,
with bows, but also, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably keep the chariots in there for a bit just because that way I don't have to repaint a lot of stuff while I'm trying to rebase skeletons. Because the other unit would be the tomb guard, but that's a lot more rebasing.
yeah,
And providing we get the army books and the box sets, this week, next week, I might be able to
yeah,
start painting the big bone dragon up.
yeah. That'd be cool.
So it makes me wonder. I don't know. I'm half tempted to put because you can't make like the Leech Priest and the Tomb King on that Bone Dragon aren't compatible for like magnetizing because one's got legs, one doesn't, type thing.
Yeah,
So you almost have to choose which one to use. And yeah, your Hierophant technically shouldn't be on something so easily killable, but it's not really easily
nah,
killable. And with that 18-inch command range and stuff and things like that for some of the raising and double raising and
yeah,
um, and the mobility, you start thinking, well, maybe it's not a bad idea to put the Hierophant
yeah,
on the Bone Dragon.
yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting sort of thinking about how to build him.
It's
Obviously,
not
down the
super
track, maybe
expensive,
by
is it?
two, but
The dragon's
I
not
can't.
very.
No, I can't
It's like
remember.
low 200s, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I haven't even done a list up with him, so I might have to
Yeah.
start doing that. I actually just signed up today for the other Kickstarter of the Pharaoh's Legacy, like the next section, and they've got a bone dragon as well.
Ooh.
And they've got a bunch of other stuff. So, you know, technically what I could do is run a GW Leech Priest Bone Dragon and then maybe buy I'll get Josh, sorry, to print the other bone dragon with a Tomb King on it and have two
Yeah.
different types of ones. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah. Anyway, cool. I hope people liked our first game. I mean, you obviously enjoyed it. You ready for the next one at some point?
Yeah, yeah. No, I've been off scheming. Obviously the big takeaway from that was the skeletons. As always, I've done skeleton armies previously and didn't have much success. And yeah, definitely learnt with the marching columns with
Yeah.
raising. That's
Yeah.
definitely a big point. But yeah, everything else went pretty good. It's just there's the Ghoul King obviously needs to be supported
Mm.
by probably ghouls,
Yeah.
and probably a big bunch of them. I reckon if you run quite a few ghoul units, it'd be a bit of a pain in people's backside.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, stay
Ah.
tuned for
Yeah.
the next list while I do some scheming. The next,
So you're staying with the vamps for the time being, hey? Because you're not
yeah,
rebasing the high elves.
nah,
Yeah. At the
nah.
moment, anyway.
I'm just gonna leave the high elves for a bit because I could go through these phases, and
Yeah.
I was gonna do dwarves, but I don't know. I just really just I got into my vamps. I started building my chaos dwarves, but it's too much work, and I just want to get some games in. So
Yeah.
I'll do the vamps.
Cool. No, I as well it'll make me learn them and play against them better because they've always been a bane in my side. Although I've had 2 successful games in a row against them, but I wouldn't say they're stereotypical vampire lists because there's been no vampires. So,
Yeah,
um, so getting I've been getting away with it, I think.
yeah. Although there'll
So,
be some vampires on my list, my
yeah,
next
yeah,
list.
yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about
yeah. Cool.
it.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for running through the battle report with me, and
Yeah, yeah.
hope
Cheers, fella.
listeners, hopefully you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you on the next battle report.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Thanks, guys.